Indoe back. This is the funny part about everything. I just finished volume 4. I mean chapter 4 in volume 1, and I went to upload it, and it's gone. I guess what I was talking about was politically incorrect, and I touched on a lot of stuff. But I'm not gonna go there again. I have a guest star tonight. My wife, Tiffany A. Harrison, MBA. This is the Indoe show. Chronicles, yeah, this is my show. Um, she's basically going to touch on some of the things I talked about and some of the things she knows for more of a intellectual way. I hope you enjoy. But let me say this first. No, I'm not going to say it yet because I just said it and somehow it disappeared. I wonder how. But anyway, they're funny though. Ain't they funny? Oh, they're funny. But the things that we need to understand is that we have no control. And we, as the bottom feed, the lower half, can't have control. They control us to a certain extent. You can always get control back if you use your brain. Look at things from a narrow point of view and watch what's going on in the world. Now, my guest star, my guest tonight, my guest star, because he's a star to me. Don't care what you think. But she has, let me say, it's a woman's point of view of some of the topics I touched on in the last chapters of Volume 1, the Chronicles, Indoe, Timothy. But anyway, we need to get ourselves together and come together, folks. And I'm being serious right now. Black, white, Puerto Rican, Asian. We need to get together and come together. Now, is this my movement? No, it's our movement. Am I taking the head of the movement? No. I need help. Am I the mouthpiece of the movement? Strong possibility. Am I the heart of the movement? No, we all are. On today's show, we're going to get an intellectual point of view to wrap this chapter up. So I hope you enjoy MRS Tiffany A. Harrison, MBA.
Hey y'all, what's up? Okay, today we're going to talk about realistically what's going on. So we'll consider today the family structure and how society and the penal system affects the family structure. So okay, you have your husband, your wife, your children. You're together. You're trying to make ends meet. It's tough. We're all out here struggling. That's real rap. So they give us all these avenues to make money. You can conform and get a regular job and make barely enough to feed yourself, or you can ball, or there's a bunch of things you can do that they make accessible to you. So you have choices whether you want to do what's considered right or wrong. Um, Not particularly my opinion. That's the opinion of society. They define what's right and what's wrong. So basically, the system is designed to separate families. That's what it's designed to do. So, with that being said, it's up to us to recognize that and do our best to not let that happen. Um, it's rough. A a bid is definitely rough. You know what I'm saying? It's something that you have to be willing to commit to, and a lot of the reason why um, a bid, so to speak, affects the family is because things usually aren't right before the bid starts anyway. If you're running around, you're not respecting each other, you're cheating on each other, and all that, then a bid is probably just going to put more distance between you. But if you go into a bid, wholeheartedly to support each other and be there for each other, it'll work. You know what I mean? But that's the whole point. The system is designed to separate you. So if you're not together, or if you don't have it together before the bid starts, the bid's not going to help it at all. You know what I mean? But you gotta want to work out. You gotta want to keep your family together. That the main focus of the government and the system is to divide and conquer. That's how they win. You know what I mean? So if you continue to let them divide your family, divide your children, divide you from your spouse or your significant other, the father of your children, whatever. If you continue to let them do that to you, then our family structure is never going to be together. So I mean, basically, it is a movement. It's a movement to better the community, to better the family structure. It's a movement. It's a movement to make so many positive changes, for us and our people. And this isn't really just a black issue. This is an ethnic issue. Period. This is Puerto Rican. This is Mexican. This is Chinese. Any minority in this country is affected by the way the system operates,
Majority.
and it's not designed to keep the family together. I mean, unfortunately, we're the main target of the setup. So it's especially African American families. It's designed to keep us apart, and that all goes back to slavery. That's the way that it was like a labor machine. They basically brought our ancestors over, breeded them, and continued to separate them and breed them and separate them and breed them until they had enough people to maintain their society. You know what I mean? So that's always been the master plan: breed and separate. So, with that being said, just to open your eyes and enlighten you a little bit on the reality of how things work. So the next time you're fighting and arguing with each other in front of the kids, you need to sit down and realize what you're really arguing about. You know what I mean? We're so busy pointing the finger. You did this, you did that, blah, 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 blah. But the whole thing always goes back to something that society has set up for you. It's all a trap. Whether you were cheating or he was cheating, what made you cheat? One, you were probably out in a bar, you were drunk, you met somebody, whatever the case may be. It all originated from some temptation that's presented to us from our own government, from our own society, from our own situation. Not to take us off the hook, because if you do something to somebody else, you should be held accountable. So I'm not saying that at all, but it's all temptation. It's placed in your face, and when you fall victim to it, it only creates problems in the family structure. If you can't be strong enough to solidify yourself to the most important thing, which should be your family, it's never going to happen. It's never going to work. You're never going to have exactly what you're looking for. And I know, I don't know for sure. I don't talk to y'all on a regular basis, but I know women in general, you want to have a family structure. You want to have a family. You want to have a good man. You want to have a man that, is there for you, down for you, supports you, and all that. But until we get back to the basics and the primary focus of the issue, which isn't necessarily each other. That's what I'm trying to get to y'all. It's not necessarily each other. But there's a whole bunch of other things I could talk about, but that I just wanted to touch briefly on the reality of the system and how it's designed to break us up and keep us apart. But I'm going to go ahead and give you back to my husband. I'm sure I'll be guest starring again eventually. But y'all have a good one.
I'm back. Yeah. Smack on a little bit of body, sauerkraut. But sometimes you gotta be serious. Sometimes, I'm goofy. I like to have fun. But it's a lose-lose situation, folks. And if we don't get our minds together it's going to be too late. Time is ticking. The world's going bonkers. The weather's going bonkers. But these are all signs. Am I paranoid, nervous, or scared? Absolutely not. Because it's supposed to happen anyway. It's prophesized. But it's kind of funny that people don't take the time to check what's going on around them. They're too busy gossiping, worrying about what everybody else is doing, living a soap opera life. I hate soap operas. They're not real. Sally did this to John, and John did this to Jane. Come on, man. It's not real life stuff. Stuff doesn't happen. But I'm going to touch base on that for next volume. Kind of hungry. I get back with you, though. Understand that. I definitely will get back with you. Indoe. Deuces.